try and put this issue in perspective, because one major institution that has a peace of the nation at heart is the National Peace Council. And they have described the December 7 elections as very peaceful and credible, despite an acrimonious campaign and tension before the concession by President Mahama and subsequently the EC's declaration of Nana Akufo-Addo as the winner. The Peace Council Situation Room assessment painted a positive picture of the process. The council also graded the Electoral Commission, that's the EC, B+ for a peaceful conduct of the polls. And the chairman has joined us in studio. Let's quickly join him, and then we can have a quick interview over this particular development and what the Peace Council so far makes of the process and how they intend to police it till we come to a final conclusion of a smooth transition. Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante, good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Yes, so to start with, I mean, this is the second day of the transition process. What has the Peace Council's assessment of it been so far?
The fact that the transition team was inaugurated in accordance with the laws of the land tells you the commitment of the government and of the incoming to really set to work to ensure that there is a peaceful and orderly transition of power and of administration. And therefore, so far, so good. Our main worry has to do with, those who think that they should also do their own transition at certain levels, and as a result of that have resorted to already seizing, things, government properties, like I hear that some people have taken over the toll booths and others have banned this. That is criminality, because they do not have any mandate whatsoever to be doing that. And it's a matter of concern to us, the Peace Council, because we are not just concerned about before, during, but we are also concerned about the after. And so if we've started on a good footing, peaceful manner, we would expect that, people in jubilation will be circumspect, and they will not carry their jubilation to the extent of trying to seize things and already trying to allot, powers into themselves.
This is not the first time we are having this kind of problem. Anytime there seem to be, because for instance, in 2000, when the NPP government was coming into power, that period of transition we had reports of such disagreements of people, party supporters from either side, either disagreeing and fighting over issues. And then same happened in 2008. 2009 when the new NDC administration was also coming in. That has always been a problem. And if we are recording it for the third time through a third handing over period, then it means the security forces are not being vigilant. And couldn't they have predicted that something like this could happen?
No, I think that we should give the security forces the benefit of the doubt. They have put in place, before the election, some of you did interview them. I think I saw either you interviewing Mr. Yohonu. Yesterday I had to call him. They've put all sorts of things in place, but some of these things you would always have, the miscreants who would misinterpret, things. One of the things that seem to be becoming part of our political discussion is this equalization. People think that, this was done to us. This morning I was on the radio speaking, and somebody called from a shaman, and his concern was that 2009 somebody took over something from him, and therefore today it is his turn to do that. But people should understand that election is not intended for them. It's for the nation. And once the laws are there, we must go by the laws. And that's why I'm urging the police to really consider this as a criminal thing. I don't think that we should even be giving political tax to these people, NPP, NDC, because in some places they are passing the buck. Somebody says, it's not the NPP people who are doing it, it's the NDC who are pretending and this and that. But I don't think we should give political tax to it. It's pure criminality, and it must be condemned and must be addressed that way.
Okay. The period for the transition, we're looking at a period of 1 month, at most 3 weeks, then the final week is used for some final touches. Do you think, from where you said that, it is a good enough period to do a proper transition from one administration to another? I
would have wished, and already they have done that anyway, that before even they sit, they will only go and look at what kinds of handing over notes have been prepared.
Okay.
I was reading the Constitution on this issue, and at a certain period, they are supposed to always do some kind of they are supposed to look at what they have done and get ready for these things, so that there's an incremental handing over notes that would be prepared. Because as far as I'm concerned, even if you are handing over, even if the Mahama government had won, they will still have to go through this transitional process. And therefore, this shouldn't be the time when we are going to go start afresh. We need to simply look at what has been done, and then critically...
So it's something that should have started
long time ago.
Now.
Long time ago, and this time we also have time, because I mean it's we are not going to go a second round election, and therefore it should be possible for them to really, in an amicable way, sit and critically look at issues to facilitate smooth transition.
How would you expect them to address disagreements? Because there is the possibility of some very key disagreements. Financial handling of state property and how much money was used in whichever project and all of that. When these disagreements come up, already these are two people, one is hurting, one is happy because of the elections, but how do you expect them to handle?
But that's why they also have, this is a 3-member conflict resolution team that has been appointed to sit in there to really try to bring the people together in case, there is a banter on an issue. So, I mean, all these have been catered for, and I would expect that, the way they have started, we're not going to hit a stalemate where they're going to fight, but they would understand that even where they reach critical points of this nature, in the interest of Mother Ghana, they will try to find a solution to it. Yes.
Okay. And with now that we've started, it looks pretty smooth. The first 2 days, the president-elect have both been there to speak. What would your job be? What would the Peace Council be doing in monitoring the situation?
We will monitor, and where we have to come in, we will come in. If we have to speak to people, we will do so. A lot of our work is done covertly, by talking to people here and there. Please look at this, look at that, and we'll continue to do that.
Okay. Yeah. And finally, we know that there is a fear of witch hunting and vendetta. There is a genuine fear in that regard. But Nana Akufo-Addo yesterday in a statement to former President Rawlings said that he's not going to witch hunt. He will just fight corruption. If you are culpable, you'll be dealt with by the law. But then he's not going to deliberately witch hunt anybody. You think that's a call in the right
direction? But has he got a time to witch hunt? I mean, it's only 4 years. And it starts at, 7th January. And I don't think that Ghanaians are going to sit back now. I mean, if you look at the way we're looking at our politics, very soon people will be calling him to, account for the promises that he made. And therefore, it will not be in the interest of the incoming government even to get themselves involved in witch hunting. But again, I agree with him that if I'm not going to witch hunt, it doesn't also mean that, if you have to fight corruption, you will not fight corruption. But whatever is done must be done according to the laws of the land in a peaceful manner, not in a vindictive way. I think that's the way we need to do it.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante, for your time. This is still Midday Live